What's up team? Coach Joshua here with the Tennis Tactics Academy, and today we're unlocking Roger Federer's serving playbook. Do a quick Google search and you'll find hundreds of videos titled How to Serve Like Roger Federer because, well, Roger really was that good. But what if I told you the secret to your success lies more in copying his tactics than his technique? Today we take a look at Federer's serve tactics, which you can copy to level up your game today. Principle 1. Use the first serve as a setup shot. Too many players waste their first serve by stepping up to the line and trying to hit an ace. Roger is regarded as one of the best servers in the game, and he got more than his fair share of aces. But the more impressive metric he focused on was percentage of first serve points won. And let me tell you, it was high. To do this, his objective was to use his first serve as a setup shot to set up the point in a way that would let him win the point very often. And the cool thing is, he followed some very predictable patterns that will work at every level of the game. And that's because your serve target will influence where your opponent hits their return. So let's jump over to the chalkboard. First, let's draw some lines. When we're talking about serve locations, we like to divide each service box into thirds. This gives us 3 targets: tee, body, and wide. Now, in general, I always recommend hitting your serve and then using your forehand to hit that first ball and aiming cross court. This combines 2 of your strengths and lets you use them in high percentage ways. It's a great default tactic, commonly known as the serve plus 1. But if you hit your serve and that first ball comes back a little shorter, here are some ways to capitalize on the opportunity and attack your opponent. Let's start with the wide serve. Serving wide should land your ball in the outermost box here, and ideally should make your opponent hit that return from the doubles alley. We say this opens up the court because look at the potential area your opponent can hit the ball into. The angles are open. Knowing this, we want to recover in the middle of their potential range. Right about here. Now, our goal is not to hit an ace. We actually want our opponent to hit the ball back so that we can finish this point in a higher percentage way. But we do want to put enough pressure on them to earn a shorter ball. Now, since we've served wide and opened up the court, if we get a short ball, we want to hit a forehand drive into the open court and make our opponent chase it down. Again, if you are off balance at all or that ball comes back deeper than expected on the return, hit the first ball cross court. This is your highest percentage play. But if you, like Roger, find that your wide serve pressures your opponent enough to earn that short ball, the play is then to hit that first ball with your forehand to the open court, trying to force an error from your opponent while they're on the run. Practice this combination of shots on repeat. Serve wide. If the ball comes back deep, hit it cross court. If the ball comes back short, attack the open court and follow it in to finish with the volley. But what about serving up the middle? Serving up the tee keeps the court closed instead of open. And by that I mean, look at the reduced angle that your opponent has to hit in now when they're hitting from the middle of the court. So we want to recover accordingly, stay a little more central, and make sure that you have room to get around that ball and hit it with your forehand. Assuming our first serve is good enough to put some pressure on our opponent and earn that short ball, it's our job to attack it. When we serve up the middle and earn that short ball, we want to attack by hitting our first ball to our opponent's weaker side. Usually their backhand. This doesn't have to be incredibly powerful or super close to the line, but we do want it to be high and deep and pushing your opponent back into that corner of the court. Keep your target conservative so you don't miss and make your opponent beat you with their weaker shot. At the recreational level, you'll find that most players don't last too long hitting backhands from deep behind the baseline. Roger would serve up the tee to set up the opportunity to attack his opponent's backhand with his forehand. And once he pulled them over there, he would come in and finish with a volley to the open court. It's a pretty smooth move. Practice this combination of shots on repeat. Serve tee, and if the return comes back deep, hit the first ball cross court. But if the return comes back short, use your forehand to attack your opponent's weaker side. Try aiming for a large square just behind the service line. If you see signals of a weaker shot coming from your opponent's first ball, move into the net quick for a volley finish. Principle 2. Remember, try to hit the first ball after your serve as a forehand as often as possible. Federer mastered this. You go rewatch some old footage and you're going to see him hit about 80% of his first balls with his forehand. I mean, if you've gained the advantage, you may as well use it, right? Doing this intentionally is a key habit to build if you want to maximize the number of first serve points that you win. If you want to learn more tennis tactics, I'll be dropping a ton of free content here on YouTube. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe to my channel, maybe even hit the bell. I'll be dropping video lessons on my entire tactics library over the next few weeks, and you don't want to miss it. And if you want even more tennis tactics, head on over to my website, tennistactics.org, to stay in touch. Until then, hit your targets. We'll talk soon.